Maybe we can start with the wins of 2024 because there've been some good things about the year as well, both personally as well as on YouTube. And let's start with YouTube because last year around this time I just posted my very first video. And to be quite honest, that's the only video that really everybody saw mine. So that's the one that YouTube pushed. Afterwards, it's been kind of a steady decline, but we'll come to that later on. The first video got over 50, 60,000 views and thousands of likes. So that really got me going and motivated to, start this YouTube channel and to even continue. So I can only say that's a personal win. Just A, growing the balls to just go out and start a YouTube channel, get on camera, talk to the camera, talk to strangers. That, and B, being consistent and trying to upload a video every week or every Sunday as I did in the beginning. I'm really grateful. And another win on the YouTube front is, of course, that I managed to get 8,000 subscribers by now within my first year, which again, I am very grateful for, because not everybody can do that, everybody can say that. And I am just a little content creator with just a dream of living a van life. And yes, I know there's a lot of competition out there of people with much more money and bigger vans and more adventurous lifestyles. But so I am really happy with my 8,000 subscribers and you watching my videos. So that is a second win for me personally, and on YouTube, of course. Continuing the theme of YouTube, another third thing that I am grateful for and also very happy and content about is, of course, that I've managed to make my YouTube channel, my little YouTube channel, Jack Van Dien, thought of the name there. I got it monetized after 4 to 5 months, which means, that is kind of a joke with my friends now, is that basically they think I'm making money doing YouTube videos, and it's not that way. I love making the videos, and yes, I do get a couple of views, which means that I do get a couple of euros. But we're talking about, and I hope you're sitting comfortably in your sofa, because you will be knocked over if I tell you the figure that I make every month on YouTube. It is exactly 27 euros. And because for tax purposes, I live in Germany, I have to pay tax on that 27 euros. So I don't think I'll be buying a new van in 2025 yet with the proceeds of my little YouTube channel. But still, I am monetized, and I think that's an accolade that I can, tick, and I'm happy about that. Another win for me is basically that at my tender age, and I mentioned it in a video before, that I keep on telling people I am 55, until a friend pointed out that actually I'm not 55, I'm already 56. I'm actually at the end of 56, and in the beginning of 2025 I'll be 57. So at the tender age of 57, I have started a new lifestyle, away from the modern comforts of a home or an apartment. I now live most of the time, and I cannot sort of say that I live full-time in a van, but most of the time I live in my van. And living in YouTube terms, you always have to be very careful with the term van life, because for me, living doesn't mean that I am sedentary. I live like in one country, or I live in one town and I live in my van and work and travel around a bit within that confined space. No, when I say I live in a van, I travel throughout Europe. So That's another win for me as well. This year, I have done Germany, Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, France, Spain, Portugal. Then I did the Scandinavian countries as well, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and I went up to Britain as well last summer. So I must admit, I am a van lifer that travels a lot. And that is what I would like to show also in my videos in 2025. It's not only how do I live, because you might not be interested in me as a person, but what are the places that I visit and what do they look like? And so that's maybe where the direction of motion of my channel. So that's another win. And the fifth win and the last win, and maybe it sounds a bit shallow, but I have managed to stay fit while doing this lifestyle. And I'm really proud of that, because I thought you come across people that also live in vans and travel around in caravans and all that. And because the lifestyle of drinking beer and having barbecue sausages, people tend to not be as fit. And I wanted to be fit and healthy while living in a van. And I think I've managed, and I'm quite happy about that. I have to knock on wood somewhere, but I haven't had a cold for the last year, which, trust me, if you knew me, you would know that I suffer colds every winter, about 3 colds and 1 flu. And since I'm on the road and finding winter sun, I haven't had a cold for like a long time, and I hope to keep on doing that in 2025, while also getting in the right nutrition and living just healthily and minimally, really. So kind of happy about that. Let's move on to the next stage. Well, and let's address some of the fails as well, because to be quite honest, there were a couple in 2024. And on a personal level, of course, I quit my job. I quit a career. I just left it all behind, which was actually the best thing I've ever done. But the fail is that I didn't really plan ahead. I was being very spontaneous. So I might have just ruined my whole pension plan just doing like what I did, just like leaving it all behind and saying F you, and I'm gonna do this because I need my freedom and I just need and I just need time to relax, enjoy myself, and although it makes me sound like I'm already 80 years old, but you know, I am approaching 60, and I just want to enjoy my life a bit more. The next year's coming. So that was one is a failure to plan financially, which resulted, if we're talking about YouTube, which resulted then 3 months down the line, that my finances during my first trip in Spain, seeking winter sun in January, February, and March that I ran out of money basically, and I had to return, and I had to crawl back to some of the schools and beg for a job, and I worked. So I made some money again. So that was fail number one. Fail number two, also on a YouTube level, is that I managed to break an expensive camera by dropping it into the sand on a beach. It was lovely shooting, but in the end, I broke the camera because I dropped it. So, and not only that, like a week later, because I was then using my mobile phone as my main camera, I forgot my mobile phone in the gym I was working out at, and I couldn't find it anymore. And in the end, basically, I lost two means of filming myself. Again, at a financial cost, because then I had to buy a new camera and all that, and a new phone. So that was fail number two. Fail number three, personal and YouTube. Because of YouTube, because of me filming in Denmark for you and for YouTube, I bumped my head against a traffic sign. It started bleeding. I had to go to like an emergency doctor, and it was all kind of nasty. And I thought, like, this for YouTube? Oh no, we're not doing that anymore. So I took a break from YouTube and making films or movies or clips or videos or whatever you want to call it, because I thought it's not worth my health. So I took a break from that. That was my fail number three, which I, God, it was a fun time. Not filming and not thinking about like, oh, I need to whack out the camera now and I need to film this because I want to show you guys. But I did miss it as well. And that is the ambiguity with having a YouTube channel. On one level, you think like, oh my God, the intrusion in my life. And on the next level, you're being a bit exhibitionistic and thinking, no, I really want to share this with people. I want to show this because this is my life and I want to share it with you. So that was fail number three. Fail number four. Yes, there is a fourth fail as well, and that's got to do with my van. The van is a 2012 Ford Transit, very short one, and it's getting on now. It's 12 years old, and with these two left hands, I basically converted it, and now that I've been using it intensely for the last, a year or so, I noticed that things are falling apart because not everything that I used, like sticky back plastic or hobby glue or Velcro, none of those materials are really made to last, are they? So all of a sudden I'm starting to discover that things are falling apart, and you will see that in 2025, because all these things will keep on falling apart and they will have to be replaced, because it's just DIY the way I did it, just to make it look pretty, but sometimes pretty doesn't mean sturdy. So that is fail number four. And the last fail, again, I'm looking over there because Dean is over there. Dean is the van, by the way, because sometimes maybe if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know that Dean is my van and not my husband or my boyfriend or something like that. So Dean, my van, is now 12 years old, and the big fail last year I had in Valencia was, of course, the alternator. I had never even heard of an alternator. I don't know what it is or what it does. Well, I do now, but in those days I had no idea what it means when an alternator breaks down. And to be quite honest, a big fail, I think, is that although people were trying to help me, there were a lot of people also trying to rip me off. And that kind of made me lose confidence in people. Everybody online has an opinion, everybody in a garage has an opinion, everybody has something to say, but the problem was never really fixed until today, because the way we have now fix the alternator problem is, drum roll, is basically the red light that keeps on burning, lighting up, saying there is a fault. We just tape over that so you don't even see the red light anymore. And as a backup, I now have a plug in my cigarette lighter that gauges the voltage that the alternator gives. So I do keep track of it while driving, but the red indicator light is still on, but I can't see it anymore. So my brain is not triggered all the time of, like, ooh, there's a fault, you need to stop now. So I keep on driving the way it is now, but I think there might be an underlying problem. What it'll be, or underlying problem will manifest itself in 2025, who's to tell, but you'll be the first to know. Anyway, that's kind of the 5 fails that I'm thinking of at the moment for me, my personal life, and my life on YouTube. I'm sure there's even more, but let's not overdo it on the negative. Let's look forward now. So, what does the new year, what does 2025 have in store for me? Or what are my plans, my goals for the year 2025? On a personal level, I would like to find my inner peace still. It's been a running theme throughout my life now, is that I keep on saying I have voices in my head, which makes me sound like a crazy person. I don't have voices in my head. I have just one voice, and it's mine, and it keeps me busy and it keeps me awake. And I overanalyze everything, including my YouTube channel and the comments that I get. And although they're always friendly and always nice, there's always that one comment that's a bit negative or a bit nasty. And then I'll be concentrating on that one. So that's something that I would like to change in the new year, is because people think probably when they see me and see me on my YouTube channel, they probably think, oh, here's a chill guy. And from the outside, I might look like one, but I'm not really on the inside, and that needs to change. So in 2025, I hope I will find that inner peace, as they call it. What else is in store for me? Well, in store for Dean is, I have been talking about changing him for a younger model. As men of my age usually do, don't they? They trade in the old for the new. Financially, I cannot afford that, so it's got to be Dean or nobody. So I will have to make some modifications so that Dean works better for me and the way I live. I find him the perfect size, to be honest. Apart from that, I'm not able to stand up, which I will never be able to change. But otherwise, perfect size for me. I can park everywhere. In Britain, I could get under all the 6-foot barriers, so I could park everywhere I wanted to. I can live a pretty stealth lifestyle. I can just stand on IKEA parking lot and nobody would even notice or care. So in that way, he's perfectly fine. I am upgrading a couple of things. So if I'm upgrading the solar panel in 2025, and because of All Power's help with an enormous power station, I will have Dean electrified. So that means that I can basically go and buy a espresso machine, an espresso maker, an electric one, and not just a mocha pot, but an electric one in the sales next week. As soon as the sales are on, I'll be buying a good quality espresso maker. So yeah, Dean will have a little upgrade, and when I get back home, I'll ask one of my cousins to maybe have a look at the outside of Dean, whether he can get a spray paint or whether we can touch up some of the rust areas that Ford is famous for. So he'll need a little touch up, a little rejuvenation, but that's in store for 2025. Ideally, I would like to become a full-time content creator. Actually, I am now already a full-time content creator because I am not working at the moment. And when I do something, it is this. I create a bit of content for you. Unfortunately, I'm not making money doing that. So that's the point that I would like to change in 2025, is maybe getting that monetization of YouTube just a bit more, that at least my traveling cost, the diesel and what have you, is paid for, so that I don't always have to, I can't say that I still have to ask the bank of mum and dad, but also I am plundering my savings account, which is not a good idea at any age. Another aspiration of mine, and this is the problem with YouTube and viewerships, I'm actually not quite sure what you as a viewer expect of me, whether you expect like interesting tips of how to travel in a van or how to fix something, or whether you want travel advice of, well, these are the places I visit and this is the kind of church, this is the cathedral, this is the marketplace, and this is where you park, or whether you watch it for me as a person and that you are more interested in what I do on a daily basis, like a daily vlog, a day in the life of Jack with his van, Dean. So I'm not quite sure whether that's more the way my viewership is going. On the other hand, I have this, is it the left hand? It's the right hand side of my brain is overactive. So basically I tend to be more of a creative person. The other day somebody was trying to explain to me the difference between a watt, an amp hour, a volt, a voltage, and he was doing all this mathematical wizardry, and I thought, like, no, my brain isn't wired like that. My brain is wired the other side, the creative side, the language side. That's why I like languages. So I'm more on the creative side. So ideally, I would like to make, in 2025, little videos, little movies that are beautiful to watch, with beautiful score, beautiful music underscoring it. And it's just beautiful to watch for you, the viewer, and beautiful for me to make. That's the ideal world. But on the other hand, I'm hearing nowadays that YouTube is evolving more to the vlogging type of videos where people just take a camera and sort of say, like, this is my life, this is my day, this is what I do. No editing, no music, just there you go, enjoy. And people are enjoying that. So I'm a bit like confused about that. It's like, do I will let you into my life, non-edited, or do you want something pretty? I tend to go for the pretty thing, but I think 2025, to sum it up, 2025 will be a bit of a mix. I will still have to find myself and find my creative vibe and see where I go with the channel and where the viewers are going with me on that channel. So, wrapping this all up, I think it's time to say goodbye to 2024 and hello 2025. I hope, as you can see, my doors are wide open for you. I hope that you come along and join me for this ride with Dean and me in 2025. And in the meantime, take care of yourself, and take good care of us.